Hi, I'm Chris Chessar. Welcome to Builderall Updates and Tips Saturday. Every Saturday I take a look at all the new updates in the amazing Builderall platform and show you some of the tips and tricks along the way. Today I have a very special guest, Dominic Biggers, on the show, and he's going to help us go Today we have a very special guest, Dominic Biggers, on the show, and this is take two, that's why we're laughing. So he's on the show to help me get through some of the updates in Builderall this week, because some of them are a little bit too confusing for me, especially in the e-learning platform. So Dominic is a specialist, or close to being a specialist, in e-learning. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, the new Builderall in 2020 is totally rewriting the industry standards for digital marketing software. 30 plus tools that seamlessly integrate with one another under one roof at one price. So check it out. Click on the link in the description and take advantage of our exclusive limited time offer at $1 for the next 30 days. So let's get to it, Dominic. All right, guys, today we're here with Dominic Biggers, the great Dominic Biggers, and we're going to talk about some of the new updates this week, and we have some pretty cool stuff in Cheetah. So I'll start this off. Let me just share my screen if that's okay. Hey Dominic, do you have anything to say to all our viewers out here?
Oh man, I'm just so glad to be on the show with you today. Everybody, looking forward to doing the Coffee Talk premiere July 4th. But let's get into these tips and tricks, man, because I tell you, Builderall is just exciting. Every week we get new updates, new tools, and new ways to promote ourselves and, get into the digital space.
We're going to go to a demo account here that we started. What I want to talk about is this new side panel thingamadiggy over here. So one of the cool things now is we can actually collapse our side panel. So if you have a smaller screen, like a 15-inch laptop, you can just squash that over, it's gone. So how do we edit this text box? Well, you can hit the pencil, or you can right click on it, and now we get this really cool pop-up where you can edit the settings of this particular element. And you can do this with any element.
Oh, that's correct. And I didn't also notice new icons on that sidebar when you open it up.
Oh yeah, so if you haven't seen this, they set them up, they're all in alphabetical order, or pretty close, and except for the text, which we discussed, I believe, last week, because you use this so many times, so during a course of building a site, so they have it right up top there for you. Now, one of the other things that you can do is you have some global things right on top up here. So we have our global background, that's like the page background, and you can already see I colored the background of my website red. You can't make it a gradient color, but what you can do is this panel up here, you can edit this panel and change. All right, let me just get out of here. Now we colored the page red underneath this panel. So how would we be able to see that? We would want to edit this panel, and I'm going to go to general colors right here, and right here underneath the color, right now it's white. Remember, you could, well, that's gradient, so let's change the color. So you can see I'm changing the color of the panel. Now let's say we wanted some of that red to come through. We could change it. Right, this lower bar is an opacity. So you can change the opacity level of your panel to bring in some colors. Now if you kind of wanted to make this really cool, you could change the color of your panel to a gradient color. And we'll do first color, we're going to do, let's say we do red, and then the second color on the gradient we'll do like let's try like a little yellow, so you have like a little sunset type of look going on there. So that's all up here in these global areas. You also have your font globals up here, which can be very handy if you're doing, you can change the sizes, you can change the font family for your desktop and mobile, and your line height. And just so you know what line height is, that would be if you're doing a paragraph or something like that, and the words, the sentences are just too squashed together, you can increase your line height a little bit. I usually use 1.1 or 1.2, and that seems to separate my paragraphs a little bit. Did I miss anything on this, Dominic?
No, you're right on time on that, and definitely you want that control to be able to resize your mobile from your desktop, because on a mobile, less is more. So you might not want your font on your mobile to be, 80 pixels high. You want a smaller font for your mobile.
All right, so I want to go back into mobile. I put some more text in here. I want to show you how to adjust the text up here in the global section up here. So if I go up here, now I checked this. This is heading 2. I was messing around with heading 1. So you have heading 1, and this would be heading 2. So I'll go down to size on mobile, and here you can see you can adjust what it looks like on mobile. That's your desktop, and then you have your line height, which I talked about. All right, now we want to talk about in the super checkout. If you haven't played around with that, definitely do that. It's a very cool tool inside your Cheetah Builder. So I have a little demo account set up here. I'm going to show you guys where you can go into super checkout, and if somebody purchases your product, there's an automated email that gets sent out. And you couldn't do anything about that. But now one of the updates now is you can actually personalize that email. So that's very cool. I'm going to show you how to do that. So once you go into your website, oops, let me share my screen. Turn Dominic's audio back on. All right, so what you have, you go into your website pages here, and you'll have this side panel here to super checkout. And then you're going to go to My Products. And then right here you have a product. You're going to edit that product. And up here you have different things that you can edit. And one of them is the email campaign. So right now you'll see right here it's checked as use default thank you message. So now you could actually have an email, like an email sequence already in your mailing boss. So you just choose any one of these lists. When somebody buys, they'll get put into the list and they'll get put on that email sequence, right? Is that right, Dominic?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. So this is very cool. So if somebody was buying this is a demo coffee product. So if somebody bought this particular coffee product, they'll get thrown into a list. They'll get the first email they'll get. You can design it any way you want. Make it a thank you. Their product is coming. And then maybe you can offer them other stuff and set up a whole 14 or 100-day sequence if you wanted to. And you don't have to worry about it. Mailing Boss is taking care of it. So that is something new in the super checkout. So you guys, I always stress, you probably get an email already from Builderall with all the updates. So definitely check this out. So all the updates for this particular week, you get it every Friday, usually late afternoon and to late evening in Eastern Standard Time. So check all this stuff out. So let's go to e-learning, and Dominic, you just guide me. Dominic can't share a screen on this system, so he's going to guide me to show you guys.
So the very first thing in this update, as you see right there, is the ELearning Access. And this is where you take a membership area, and if you're doing it through the checkout, you can also restrict that area, that until you get payment, they can't access that membership area, i.e. access the e-learning course. And what this does, and this update is huge, as our old e-learning course, as long as you had the URL to the e-learning course, you could, just share it with anybody. This here is going to restrict it to where you only get access to this e-learning course if you go through, Cheetah or a checkout and you've paid for the course. So no longer being able to, share other people's e-learning courses for free when they didn't pay for it. So this is a huge, huge plus for us creators that create e-learning courses as a bonus to our clients. That way, people don't get it and then just start sharing it everywhere. So that's a really great and huge update for this update. And then they also have now a button. Can you go into your e-learning demo?
All right, so up
Click
here, I'm
preview.
going to hit preview.
Now you're looking at the course as it would be if you were a student getting ready to take this course. And here's another wonderful update. Yeah, Chris is already hitting it. You can customize your e-learning course so it's user customizable. What are the colors you want to do? There's different themes you can do, like when you first come into the e-learning. If you scroll down, see the layout styles down there, Chris. You can pick different layout styles, widths, just different themes. Just make it however you want to make so it's very user personal. Very user interactive. That the user gets to pick its own their own themes. Where in the old e-learning course, we only had like 4 themes to pick from, and it was just basic different colors. So this is huge. This is real huge. What else is new? Oh, private comments. Now you can, if you're a student and you have a question on a particular module or learning exercise, you can now send a personal message to your instructor. And on top of that, you can now upload assignments. So you can do attachments and send attachments. Like if you had an essay you have to turn in for, I don't know, any type of online learning, you can now attach those files and send it directly to your instructor through this e-learning course.
That's amazing. And what are some of the things, like I hear people ask, like, what could I use e-learning for? I don't have a course, but you don't necessarily have to use e-learning as a course, right?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I mean, you could do it for pretty much anything. Any type of information you want to convey, you can do. It doesn't have to be e-learning. You could do like, hey, here's my cooking show, and teach people how to cook. It's still about learning because it's e-learning, but you can use the e-learning course for anything. I had a friend about a year ago. I just got him involved into Builderall, and he's like, man, I don't know what to do. I was like, okay. I said, what do you love to do? And he said, well, I love music. I said, how good are you at music? He said, I'm pretty good. I said, could you teach? He says, yeah. I helped him create an e-learning course on how to learn to play the guitar. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He didn't know what he wanted to do. And I'm one of the people that believe that if you do something you love, you never work another day in your life. The e-learning really is meant for an online course. You're taking it allows you to you can set up assignments, take quizzes online, and it'll grade you automatically. Even at the end of the course, it will automatically send you a certificate to your email that you provide when you register. And that's another great thing that they did. They integrated e-learning and Cheetah so well that now when you sign up, like if you buy from me and you give me your email address and you buy my course, it will automatically sign you up for the e-learning course. You no longer have to go in and register. It used to be, well, you give me your email address on a squeeze page, and then I had to get it again on the registration and the e-learning. Too much?
No, I'm just trying to see if I could poke you somehow, but apparently I can't.
I saw you move, and I'm like, what?
I'm trying to. I don't know where I am.
Okay.
I'm like pretending to look at you. Interesting.
Was that too much? Or?
Very interesting, sir.
Oh, well, you're on the other side from me, so I have to turn this way.
Are we looking at each other?
Now we are. Well, for me it is.
Hey, I'm used to doing this alone, so
I'm
not used to having a guest. All right, what else we got here? And you told me about some other stuff. Let me share my screen again.
Yeah, right here, where ask questions to your instructor. Right here is where they can now message you. You put your email in there. Your student, as they're taking the course, they have a message for you. You know, they got a question, a particular, lesson, or something they don't quite understand. They can now email you directly, and you can answer them right back.
All right, so I would put whatever email I want in here.
Your
right?
email in. Yeah, whatever email you want.
All right.
And then also when you do that, you want to reset your default.
All right, Dominic, you said something about resetting a default. I don't really understand that.
Okay, so the e-learning course comes set default with the Builderall URL. And you're going to want to use your own professional email instead of using Builderall's e-learning email. So in there, you're going to just change it to whatever vetted email you have in Mailing Boss.
Gotcha. Very good information. All right, what else do we have here?
Okay, so what we were talking about earlier when you were in the checkout, the restriction and protection. So what we're going to do from here is we are going to close registration, right? And disabled any new users from signing up to the course unless they buy the course. So we would put a link to your checkout here, or we would have it navigate to like a page in Cheetah. Like only people that have access to this restricted membership area in Cheetah can access the e-learning course. Just another way to really ring in who's in your course and who's not. Because in the past, the old e-learning course, if you had the URL, you could share it with anybody. They didn't have to pay for the course. So a lot of times we had to give our courses away for free or use them as lead magnets instead of actually charging for our really good information.
All right, so basically what you're saying in my brain is that I come up with a paid course or even a private course. That person who bought it or can't share it or nobody can steal it. It's just boom. So Builderall made it a default where it's protecting your content.
Absolutely. Yes. Now you can absolutely control who has access to your e-learning course and who doesn't. In the past, anybody who had the URL had access to your course. They didn't have to pay for it.
That's pretty cool. And then I see here, hold on a second. It looks like you can now have a URL to navigate after they log out of your course. So you could actually send them to another page.
Well, I would think you would want to send them to your home page so they could then again log back in. But yeah, instead of just, you're logged out and you get nothing, now you can redirect them back to a home page or a, hey, thanks for being with us, or you're logged out, or something nice to interact with them once they log out.
All right, so that's very cool. Was there anything else that we had to touch base on updates in e-learning?
Wow, no. I don't know of any more updates, but wow, I mean, it's like drinking from a fire hydrant with updates. Every week we get blasted.
So I guess the best thing to say is that if you haven't checked out eLearning, go play around with it. And like they always say, try to break it. Just do whatever you can, because you can't break it. All the stuff that they put together in Builderall is very easy to use. If you just take a little bit of time, clear your head, put your cell phone down, turn the TV off, and just focus, it comes pretty easy.
Oh, I have to agree with that. Yeah, not only does it come easy, it's already integrated. You don't have to know code. You don't have to do anything other than click this button to link it to this. What else do you need? You just
Nothing. All right, Dominic, one of the questions I get a lot for some of my new leads that come in is they just want to just take off running, and they start watching all the training, and they go to Tuesday night live trainings with the Builderall Diva, and it just gets so overwhelming. It's just a complete total overload. What are some suggestions that you might have for some new people coming in to Builderall?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, first coming into Builderall, I was overwhelmed. I don't know about you, Chris, but I certainly was. What I found for me is single focus. I focused on one tool and I mastered it. I forgot that Builderall has, 30 something more odd tools. I focused on, when I first came in, unfortunately it's not there anymore, but I focused on Pixel Perfect when I first came in. Now we have Cheetah. So what am I focused on? I'm focused on Cheetah. Learning everything I can about Cheetah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Cheetah Builder is something that even if you're coming in as an affiliate and you want to sell the business opportunity, you still kind of have to learn the basics with Cheetah and Mailing Boss. Wouldn't you say those are the two most important things within
Oh,
Builderall?
God, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's no use having a funnel where you're capturing leads if you're not doing anything with those leads, i.e. Mailing Boss. So absolutely, I would focus, and that's still kind of a single focus. You're talking about an integration between your sales funnel and your Mailing Boss, and those kind of go hand in hand. You've got to have those both, or you're not in business. If you're not capturing leads and building a list, the money's in the list. So if you're not building a list, you're not building a business.
Yep, that absolutely. So Dominic, before we go, let's show one more thing. Let's take a look at the funnel showcase. So if you're new and you haven't heard anybody talk about this yet, definitely, now you have to have a premium account, which I highly recommend. You'll go into the funnel showcase inside your affiliate dashboard, and let me share my screen. All right, so in your funnel showcase, you see all these niche funnels. And what's really cool about this, you have all the social media suggestions for ads and stuff like that. So you just kind of scroll down, you can copy and paste. It kind of tells you who to target and all that kind of stuff. And every week they add another, either one or two niche funnels. So you have some really cool stuff here. Now some will be good for, let's say, getting new leads in for your Builderall account. Or some of them have really cool downloads, like this new one here, how to rekindle your marriage, and it's meant for women here. So let's view the funnel, and you can see up here, are you trying to rekindle your marriage, blah, 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 and you can download the guide now. So this would be a little ebook. Now, if you really wanted to see what that ebook looked like, so we'll click on here, we don't want to sign up. But before I get to how to see the download, Dominic, can you explain how important this is, how you could use this particular tool?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it goes back to what I just got finished saying. The money is in the list. This is helping you to create an email list that you can sell anything. It doesn't have to just be Builderall. You can sell anything. And in order to sell anything, you have to have contacts. You know, no, I mean, think about this. How well would you do as a salesman if you didn't have leads? You're not going to sell anything, right? Well, it's the same concept when you're dealing with mailing lists. If you don't have a mailing list, you're not selling anything.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You're right. So what I would do with something like this, with that marriage thing, is if there was I know we have a nutrition type of lead capture niche funnel, and then if I was into selling supplements or something like that, that would be a good opportunity. I'm building my list. Builderall already gave me this pre-made funnel that captures stuff. They're being sent to a list. I could make an email sequence introducing myself and then offering other products that from like Max Bounty or ClickBank or wherever else.
Oh, absolutely. You absolutely could do that. And not only that, another thing I like to use the niche funnels for is, there's a lot of people out there in businesses that don't know how to capture leads, don't know much about the online marketing. And what these funnels do is it allows me to educate people in different niches and bring them into the digital marketing world. Because this is all new for a lot of these businesses. Not too many pizzerias, are in the, I mean, unless you're like Domino's, Papa John's, or some of the bigger ones, they're not really in the online world. They're solely, dependent. They're solely dependent on foot traffic and word of mouth and advertising. They're not really in the digital space. But with that pizzeria funnel that they have, I can offer that to them, right? Now I get a client because I offered them a website. And now what that client can do is he can take that website I just gave him and he can use it to generate leads. And that's the beauty of the niche funnels. That's what it really does. That's where it excels at. It excels when an affiliate or an ambassador of Builderall like myself shares that with somebody in that niche. They use that funnel, they become my lead, and then they get their own leads.
Yeah, that's great information. And I just want to ask Dominic, could you warn us when it's going to be a long story?
Oh, sorry, man. Was that a long story? Was it bad? Really? Was that bad? Seriously?
No, it was good, man. It was just long. I didn't know where to look. I'm like,
Oh, well, I stare at the front. I'm seeing you in my peripheral down here. I'm looking directly at the camera. Yeah.
Let's wrap this up. All right, so guys, I want to show you actually how to see that particular download in these niche funnels. So let me share my screen again. All right, so right in here, you have, this is now you went into the funnel club. So we were in the funnel showcase right up here, but now we're going into funnel club. And you can either download this funnel, maybe change the words around, whatever you want to do. And then you can go right down here. It says link for the thank you page. You click on that to open. You can actually download this ebook and kind of have an idea what it's all about. Let me ask you this, Dominic, can we edit this ebook here?
Absolutely, you can edit it. It's 100% editable.
Okay, well, I was expecting a longer answer, but we'll deal with that. And maybe me and Dominic should read this ebook.
I was reading it. It says, what does he think? Yeah, what does he think?
All right, so you have an idea what the ebook looks like, and you can do what you will with that. All right, guys, I want to thank my special guest, Dominic Biggers, for being here today on our Saturday update show. It was a real pleasure. Hopefully you guys can tolerate the nonsense of us two together. But Dominic, can you tell us a little bit about our new venture that's being launched on July 4th?
Absolutely. Chris and I are partnering up. We're going to be co-hosts in Okay, we're going to be co-host. Stop looking at me. We're going to be co-host and Coffee Talk Marketing. It's going to be a talk show for you know seasoned marketer. It's going to be there for new people trying to break into the business. We're going to share all kinds of tips and tricks. We're going to have expert speakers come in. We're going to be talking about design. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk about everything marketing. Everything marketing. So definitely join us. Coffee Talk Marketing, July 4th.
And they can go to, we'll put a Facebook link for the Facebook group, so make sure you join that. And we have our own YouTube channel that I don't think there's any videos on it yet, but we'll get some videos up there when we start. So we'll put those links in the description so you guys can check them out. All right, Dominic, thanks so much for being here.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We check them daily. And don't forget, if you haven't tried out the new Builderall in 2020, you can get it for a limited time at $1 for the next 30 days by clicking on the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the inside.